In hip-hop, few conspiracies get more attention than the claim that DJ Vlad might be working with the FBI. It's a rumor that's been floating around for over a decade, whispered in studios, debated online, and referenced in songs. The idea sounds wild that one of the culture's biggest interviewers might secretly be helping law enforcement. But like most hip-hop conspiracies, there's history, context, and some uncomfortable truth under the surface. Before the controversy, DJ Vlad was just a hip-hop head with a camera and a dream. Born Vlad Lubovny, he started out as a DJ mixtape producer in the 2000s before shifting the media. When YouTube exploded, he saw what others didn't, that interviews could become the new street DVDs. He created Vlad TV, a digital platform that lets rappers, producers, and street figures tell their stories unfiltered. In time, that unfiltered angle became his signature and his curse. Vlad TV's formula was simple: real talk, no fluff, and cameras rolling. He asked direct questions that most journalists wouldn't dare to ask. He wanted details about crimes, rivalries, and old beefs. The clips were addictive, raw, confessional, and often viral. But that approach also walked a thin line. When rappers started getting indicted shortly after the interviews, fans began asking, was Vlad setting people up? The Vlad as an informant theory took off around the late 2010s when several rappers' old interview clips began resurfacing in court cases. Some fans claim law enforcement was using his interviews as evidence. Even if that wasn't his intentions, the optics were bad. Combine that with Vlad's direct prosecutorial interview style, and the conspiracy had all it needed to grow. In the internet age, perception is reality, and Vlad's tone sometimes felt too much like an interrogation. Part of why the rumor stayed alive is because many of Vlad's guests fed into it. Regulars like Boosie, Lord Jamar, and my son would joke about Vlad being feds on the camera, half serious and half trolling. Boosie especially helped popularize the narrative, calling Vlad the police whenever questions got too specific. The fact Vlad laughed it off instead of denying it made fans even more suspicious. It became part of the show's mythology, half entertainment, half paranoia. When rappers like Casanova and AR-Ab got hit with federal cases, people noticed something eerie. Both had long, detailed Vlad TV interviews on YouTube. In them, they talk about life in the streets, sometimes brushing close to real criminal activity. Once they were indicted, snippets from those interviews circulated online as evidence. Whether or not the feds actually used them, fans saw a pattern. To them, Vlad's camera had become a trap. To his credit, Vlad has repeatedly denied being an informant. He said on multiple occasions that he's never cooperated with law enforcement and that once the interviews are public, anyone, feds included, can watch them. His stance is that rappers are grown adults responsible for what they say on camera. He says, I don't ask questions the fans don't already want to know. But to some, that defense sounds too convenient. The conspiracy thrives on doubt, and Vlad's confidence only fuels it more. Part of what made the rumor stick is that Vlad doesn't come from the same background as most of the people he interviews. He's a Russian-American journalist with a corporate polish, sitting across from ex-gangsters, felons, and rappers with real street ties. That cultural gap sometimes makes his curiosity feel invasive. Fans began calling him a culture vulture, suggesting that he profits from other people's pain, and maybe even helps the system punish them. It's less about proof and more about energy. In the digital age, reputation spreads faster than facts. Once people started calling Vlad the feds, it became a meme. You'd see the comments under every video, like, don't say too much, he recording for the DA. Memes turned into folklore, folklore turned into truth. Even rappers who never met Vlad believed the rumor because street culture had accepted it as part of his identity. In hip-hop, perception carries weight, and Vlad's perception has never fully recovered. Legally speaking, Vlad's not doing anything illegal. Journalists have the right to ask hard questions, and interview footage can be public evidence whether the interviewer intends for it to or not. But that doesn't mean he doesn't take any blame. Critics argue that Vlad knows his audience and he knows his questions can incriminate. By pushing artists to talk about unsolved crimes, he blurs ethics for clicks. The line between journalism and exploitation gets thinner with every one of his interviews. Back in 2009, long before the informant rumors peaked, Vlad sued Rick Ross for assault after Ross's entourage allegedly beat him up. The reason? Vlad had asked about Ross's past as a correctional officer. That lawsuit and Vlad's willingness to take legal action made some fans uneasy. They started saying real street dudes don't sue. To conspiracy theorists, that moment was proof he wasn't built for the culture he was documenting. He's currently suing Joyner Lucas for copyright infringement. To understand why this rumor hit so hard, you have to understand hip-hop's relationship with law enforcement. From NWA's F the Police to Meek Mill's parole battles, the culture has always viewed the system as the enemy. So when a journalist's platform keeps overlapping with indictments, it triggers those old suspicions. Vlad's face became a symbol of that tension. the outsider in the culture who might be feeding the very machine that rappers have fought for decades. Vlad's interviews are structured almost like depositions. He sits still off camera asking clear chronological questions. When did that happen? Who were you with? What happened next? The tone is calm, but the pacing is cold. It feels like an interrogation more than a conversation. That's great for storytelling, but terrible for perception. When rappers get locked up later, those clips suddenly sound like confessions. Some younger rappers are now using the term Vlad Trap, meaning you walked yourself into trouble on camera. It became a warning, don't say too much, you're on Vlad. Even established artists like 21 Savage and Freddie Gibbs have called out guests for telling on themselves. Vlad's interviews became a lesson in self-control, teaching a new generation of rappers to guard their words in public. Ironically, the paranoia made his show even more popular. Controversy fuels clicks, and Vlad's business model thrives on it. Every viral clip means ad revenue. Every debate online drives another million views. Even the FBI rumor keeps his name buzzing. It's the perfect internet paradox. The more people hate him, the more they watch him. In a weird way, the conspiracy has become part of his branding. He's not running from it, he's capitalizing on it. It's also worth noting that Vlad doesn't invent any of these stories. His guests bring them to the platform. People like BG Knockout, Mob James, and Gene Deal come ready to talk, often eager to tell their truth. Vlad just gives them the stage. Still, many fans argue he could steer conversations away from legal danger instead of encouraging confession. That tension between freedom and responsibility defines the Vlad TV dilemma. It's what makes him both respected and resented. Another reason the rumor won't die is because of YouTube's algorithm. Vlad TV clips constantly get recommended, keeping his name floating through the digital bloodstream. Old interviews resurface every time a rapper faces trouble. That repetition reinforces the illusion of cause and effect. They talked to Vlad, then they got indicted. The algorithm has basically turned the conspiracy into a self-sustaining myth machine. Inside the industry, the opinion on Vlad is divided. Some artists like Lord Jamar and academics still defend him as a journalist doing his job. Others like Royce da 5'9" and G Herbo have openly told rappers to avoid him altogether. Even T.I. and My Son have publicly criticized his tone, saying Vlad benefits from other people's pain. That split mirrors the hip-hop audience itself, torn between curiosity and distrust. The snitch narrative has always been powerful in hip-hop. From the streets to the studio, being labeled as a rat is the ultimate betrayal. Vlad's informant rumors tap directly into that cultural fear. It's not even about facts anymore, it's about symbolism. In the minds of fans, Vlad represents surveillance, exposure, and exploitation, everything hip-hop has fought against since day one. Yet, despite the controversy, Vlad remains one of the most successful figures in hip-hop media. His channel boasts millions of subscribers and billions of views. He's turned scandal into sustainability, surviving waves of backlash that would have ended a whole lot of careers. That resilience fuels both his credibility and the paranoia. Fans can't decide if he's lucky, smart, or protected, which keeps the theory alive. So is Vlad really an FBI agent? Probably not, but that's not the point anymore. The conspiracy survives because it represents something deeper. Hip-hop's ongoing battle with exploitation and exposure in the digital age. Vlad's story reminds us how easily truth, myth, and media can blend together until you can't tell one from the other. Whether you see him as a journalist, a hustler, or a handler, one thing's for sure, in the world of hip-hop conspiracies, Vlad will always be the suspect that never leaves the lineup.